How's it going, ScrubGamers? Welcome back to another video and another deck profile, another 3 in a row. Because last weekend I signed up to take part in Fight Night number 7 because I want to try and get some, play more games. I haven't been a fan of webcam games, that's why I've been judging events and not entering them. Then I didn't enter it when we first started webcam. I did enter some to give them a try, and it was alright, but I didn't like the fact that you're not actually sitting in front of your opponent. You're way away from him and you can't really interact with the cards or see them. And at the beginning, the kind of drama and all the cheating and stuff that started off, it put me off a little bit. But after just judging the events, I got a bit bored of just not playing and wanted to give it a try. And so the first thing I did was, when I found out about Fight Night 7 being set up, I signed up to give it a try and get back to playing. And unfortunately, I got pitted against my teammate, Big O Notation, for our game. So we ended up playing it, so it's almost like a locals. We did have fun playing. And even though Ollie did mention about his strategy to me when we were playing casuals before locals, about his idea for it, I made sure not to take anything to directly counter it and just went with some decks that would be fun. Two of them were more casual and more fun than the last one, but I had a limit. I tried to get more cards to play, more fun ones for the event, but unfortunately I wasn't able to get those cards in time, so I had to go with one of the decks I had, and it seemed like the more interesting choice than one everyone I got. So this is going to go over the first one. So the first one I went with Red Beerus. It's an old set 8 leader. So just in case you don't know, we never played in set 8. What I'm going to do is just go over the leader and go over the deck in bits, and I thought it'd be more interesting to go over it in live rather than on a some people that do like the live in person ones, so I prefer them, and I thought I'd give them a try for the Fight Night ones. So with this leader, it's a red leader with an activate main where once per turn you choose one red or yellow card in your hand, discard it, and then you draw 2 cards. So it means you don't have to attack, which is always a benefit, and it allows you to get some card advantage, and it makes use of some things that activate in the drop as well for red and yellow, which we'll see in a bit. And then with Awaken, it's just a standard. When you last 4 or less, you untap 2 and flip over. So it's got no self awakening built in, but you've got cards in the deck to help you do that, and your opponent attacking also helps you as well. And it's nice because giving you that extra energy is really good. And on the front side, on the Awaken side, it's got 2 effects, but I'm not going to cover the first one because actually I cover it because it can't come up. Just it never rarely comes up. And it's activate main. Well, both effects are once per turn on the Awaken side. First one is for a red and a yellow energy. You can choose one of your opponent's battle cards to KO it. It's not the best because some cards could have barrier, and 2 energy to KO something is not the best. It used to be alright back when, but I think even back in set 8 it wasn't that great. But it's more the Ever effect that's really handy for this deck, which is activate battle once per turn. Choose one red, yellow multicolored card in your drop area and combo with it. So that means you just get a free 10k during your player's turn in a battle, which is really handy. So making at least this swing, the leader swing, 25k, or even getting a free 10k defensively is very handy. That's I thought it'd be an interesting one. I was originally going to go with Bloody Surge Maidens, but unfortunately I didn't have all the cards to construct that deck, so I had to go to an alternative, and I thought this was more fun. Plus I have Theory after this. I did have a deck profile previously, but I haven't been able to test it and play it. I thought this would be a good opportunity. Also, if you want to check out the game, I will be putting it out. I will link down below the YouTube clip and also the Twitch clip. So I don't think the YouTube clip of the game is up. So down below will be at least the Twitch link, so you can watch the VOD. And then once they post up the YouTube vid of the game, I'll link that. I'll add that to the description as well. If you want to check out the games, go down below. I'm not going to spoil what the result was of the match because you might be more interested in watching it yourself. It was a pretty good game. So that's really it. So with some of that, first we got one setup. So first of all, we've got the cards that you are ones you want to discover the leader. So we got, first of all, we've got 4 weeks. If you don't know what this week does, is an anniversary box card that was released in the anniversary set to help support Red Beerus. And what its effect is a 1 cost 5k. With activate main of, if you lead a card, it's a Beerus card. and you send this card from your drop area to your warp. You can choose one card in your life, add it to your hand, then choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards, and it gains minus 5,000 power for the duration of the turn. So this is really handy, one, because you can easily put it in drop with your leader's bird, just discard to draw 2 cards, and then you can use this from your drop. It is a form of self-awakening to allow you to take cards from your life, and it's also handy to get rid of like really small weenies and stuff. So if your opponent's got cantrips, or they've played earlier like a Basil that are waiting for you to tap, have 5 taps so it can activate the main, you can just use it from the drop and minus 5k. And the good thing is the life is optional to take a life, so you don't have to take a life if you want to. If you just want to remove from your warp, from your drop to minus 5k something, you can always do that. Absolutely fine. Then the next one we got is free of the Bardock the Eliminator. So this is like a little drawing. We're not going to go over the it's a unique blocker, but we're not going to go over its skills really, because this is more of its activate main we're going to use it for, which is for 1 energy. You send it from your drop area to your warp, draw a card. So this is an ideal, really good turn 1 play if you don't have a cantrip, which you'll see in the deck. What ones we got? So this is nice to just turn 1, like charge a red, charge an energy. Because you're never going to charge multicolour energy in this deck. Discard this, draw 2, and then use this effect from drop to tap the energy you've got. Because you don't really, unless you have something you want to play as a cantrip, draw to a card. Just draw never. So you draw 3 cards in the first turn, which is very handy. So that makes your leader +2 in the first turn. And then add to that, we also have 2 the Goku Ape, which is basically the same as this, but you pay 2 energy to draw 2 cards. After testing it, I think I'm going to cut this down to 1 and then never Bardock Ape, because really you want that ideal turn 1 play to be able to either discard this to draw 2 and then play a cantrip, or discard this, draw 2, and then use its effect and drop to draw 1. And you mainly want it for a turn 1 play. And sometimes you don't have the 2 energy. The 2 energy can kind of be a bit expensive to play, and you can always side more of these if you're playing a best of 3 to deal with hand control and stuff like that. And this is a really good card deck to go against hand control because you draw a lot, and yeah, I feel it could be a good call for the meta. But that is our discard stuff for the leader to get the benefit from the drop. So a little discard package. Then we've got the Unison package of going with 4 Piccolo Junior, Descent of the King. It's probably the best red Unison. Yeah, I say the best red Unison in the game. Like generically, there are some cards that are good for certain formats. Like there's the Vegito 4-drop Unison that's really good in certain formats, and the Jiren is good for certain decks like Caller. But this is a great one because of it's got a nice auto as well. Well, if your opponent uses a counter skill, doesn't matter if it's counter play or counter attack, you can choose one of your opponent's battle cards with 15k power or less and KO it. And now with the Yamcha, which you're going to see in a bit, you can always even kill things that are even stronger than 15k by as long as you time the trigger resolve the autos in the right order. It's only a two specified costs, meaning that as soon as you get to turn 2, you can play it, and it's cheap. That's what you want. You want cheap and effective cards in this deck. Then with its skills, you've got the +1, which is the reason why you play it, is just +1, draw 1 card. Yeah, you want to just basically get the draw in there as well. And this other skill is -2, which activate main. Choose it to one of your red battle cards with energy cost 3 or less. Choose all your opponent's battle cards with power less than or equal to the chosen card and KO them. This card gains rejuvenate once per turn. Remove 2 markers for the turn. Remove 2 markers from this card for the turn, which would then allow you to add a card from top of your deck to your life. This is nice because that can actually come up handy, and it might be nice to do a board wipe. But there's nothing in this deck that's 3 cost or less that you're going to be able to power up high enough to warrant that. But still, in a pinch, if you need to add an extra card to your life, that's a possibility. There's no need for the +1. To do that, we only have 2 Yamcha Merciless Barrage because it used to be one of the worst, the worst counterplay of the free pack counterplays, but we're not always going to have the Piccolo live, so I only went for 2 of these rather than 4 because the focus isn't to get the Unison out. The Unison is just there if we have it to play it to get more resources. But its counterplay is when you can, like the rest of them, you can't activate counterplay skills for on other cards for the turn if you use this. And it's choose 2 of your opponent's battle cards, and they get -15k power for the turn. So what I mean by that with the Unison is, if say you attack and your opponent counters, and they've got a 30k, say if they're using a counter attack that plays itself, you can go. This would go into pending, and then you can use this counterplay in the counterplay 1 window or 2 window, whichever one you want to do it in, to play itself. And in the cat play skill, minus up to 2 things by 15k. So if you got 30k already on board and a negate with a negate that plays itself, this go pending. Counter window, play this to minus the 30k by 15. Now it's 15k. When this resolves, you can pop it. But this card is better in counter play window 2, because in counter play window 1, when your opponent goes to manually play a card, it's no longer on field. It's not on field yet, and the counter play is resolved first. So this resolve, play itself, and minus two things and play itself before the card they're trying to manually play comes into the board, so it won't be a target. But in counter play window 2, the card that's being played will now be on the board for you to be able to have a valid counter. This is why this is probably this is always best in counter window 2. And to go with the Unison package as well, we have the limited card King Piccolo, the new ruler. So there's only is that one, so we can only play one. But this is really nice just because with this Unison, you just play this Unison plus 1. It's got 3 markers. Now you've got 15k swing, and you can play this free 20k double strike swing. And what this does is, as I just said, it's a free cost 15k, but it's not going to be 15k. But it also has double strike, and it's permanent if you lead as red, which is he gains 5k power, and your opponent can't use blocker skills in response to his attack. And you can play it for free. Is activate main, where if you have a red Unison card in play with 3 or more markers on, you play it from your hand for free, but you can't play copies for the turn, which isn't an issue anymore because you only have 1, so you have to worry about. But at the end of the turn, it also will trigger where it will warp itself. So this is the little Unison package we've got. And yeah, we don't want to have less cards in there, but at least if you've got too many of these, you can always ditch them off the leader skill. And then on to the multicolour package. We have the 4 of the Whis Unison, because it's just easy to trigger a rival and quite nice in this deck. And then we've got our rival of choice being the Beerus. So the Whis is nice because it's a super combo that you can easily get. So so this is one of the only, because normally with multicolours they are 1 cost 10k, but luckily we got a super combo that's 0 cost 10k and has a nice effect where it helps against battle card swings. So if your opponent's swinging with a battle card and it doesn't have barrier, you can use this to combo easily and minus swing. So it's a nice little board clear as well. And then it's easy enough to get this in the drop as well to trigger for your leader on its awakened side. And as well as that, we also have, with the Beerus, it's a 4 cost 20k, and it's got a rival red yellow for 1 red, which is better. Like before this, we didn't have a rival card for red yellow that was red. We had the Vegeta and King Vegeta, which was the yellow, and then the Beerus, which was 1 red and 1 yellow. So finally we got a red one, and it's got a really nice effect. It's similar to Cooler a little bit, where also when this card is played, you draw 1 card, then choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, because the yellow part of it has got to be in rest, and they get minus 10k power for the turn. So that incorporates both the red side and the yellow side. Red side of minusing, yellow side of being in rest. And then it also does have an activate main that you can use to end games if you want to, because normally in the deck you're just going to charge red, but if you ever have a yellow card that, like say the Goku Ape, that you don't want to pay 2 for, and you're on your awakened side, you can charge that and then activate this card's activate main, which is for 1 red, 1 yellow, and 1 of any colour. So for energy, being at least 1 red and 1 yellow. You choose all your opponent's battle cards in rest mode, minus 20k them, and this card gets 5k power and triple strike for the turn. So it's a nice way to get a triple strike finisher quite easily as well. And then the other multicolored card we have, which is that sort of almost like a secret rare for the deck, like a one-off, is the Son Goku, SS4 Son Goku or Heartfelt Play. So it's limited to 1, so we're going to play the 1, and it's a really good card, an easy way to pull it off in this deck, because it's a 5 cost 30k triple striker with Offering, which is a really good key skill. So when this comes down, your opponent's either going to take a life from take 1 card from the life and put it in the drop area, or allow you to draw 2 cards. So this is what Offering does. It gives your opponent a choice whether to crit a life or let you draw 2. And the way to play this for free is it's also where you choose 1 of your red battle cards with 25k power or more and place it in its own drop area, which most of the time we're going to be using this Beerus or Piccolo. And when your opponent activates its Awaken skill, if there isn't one of this card in play, you can play this card from your hand. So generally, is you save your awakening till you have this, find this card, which you're going to keep digging for all the tool cards we've got, and then you're going to sack off a battle card you swung with, like either this or the Piccolo. That's 25k and red, and play this for free. And the reason, and now you might be thinking, you can't use this and the Piccolo because they're only 20k, but there's a way to make them stronger, which is Cabba's Awakening, which you play 4 of. So this is a old set 1 0 cost extra card with an activate battle skill where you choose up to one of your red cards, you gain 6,000 power for the duration of the turn. So what you do is you swing with this or the Piccolo first, combo if you want to, put the damage through. Then you swing with something else, you trigger this, you give the Beerus or Piccolo that's already swung with, you choose the Beerus or Piccolo with this, which gives an extra 6,000, which makes 20. Either of them 26, and now they're in the right, and it adds the power to the card. Unlike a combo where the power doesn't get added to the end of the battle step, and when you apply calculate damage, this gets added to the card's power itself, unlike comboing. So this makes those 2 cards in the requirements for this card, so you can then use them for this. And we play 4 copies because it's a great defensive card as well. Because 6k means if your opponent's just comboing 5k, making it so you have to combo a 10k to get over it. This is just makes it so you don't have to use a super combo to do it and still out combo 5k when you wouldn't normally require 10k. And that is it for the dual color package. You don't have too many because we don't want the clogs. We're never going to charge them. We're going to be playing them or comboing them. And then with the other package we got is the weenie, so you can apply some decent pressure. So the first one we got is Chain Attack Beerus. This is what I mean by the cantrip, because it's just a 1 cost. When you play the card, draw. Is also as when you play it, draw a card. And also he's got a nice permanent where bond free for either red Saiyan cards or Barnett Screw cards. This card gains 11k power for the turn. So if you've got 3, including itself, red Saiyans on the board or Barnett Screw, it becomes 15k, which is nice. A 1 cost 15k to attack with is pretty handy. And to go with that, we've also got 2 Chain Attack Barlock. I wanted a third to play in here, but I couldn't get a third, so I had to settle for 2 for now. But he's got the same permanent as Beerus, apart from he also gains critical. And he's got an auto. His auto is when it attacks, you choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards. It gets minus 4,000 power for each red Saiyan and or Barnett Screw card in your battle area, which can really mount up sometimes and gives added removal. And it's kind of nice removal than KOing because it gets through things like this. Is one of the few kind of ways you can get through indestructible, which is really handy. And then add with the more Saiyans, we've got Saiyan Cabba, which is another one from set 1, where when it's got the effect where it's a 1 cost 5k, and when it attacks, you can choose 1 card in your life, add it to your hand. And when you do, it gains 10k in double strike. So it's a help a bit of extra self awaken if you need be, and also applying pressure. And we use this over the ones that give critical, because the ones that give critical, one going against the leader is better, but against a Unison, the ones with critical only take 1 marker off. Whereas this allows you to help take more markers off your opponent's Unisons, which is a key thing that's helpful. And then more 1-drop Saiyans we got is Broly Crown of Retribution. Now this is a really good card in red, and probably one of the best things about red at the moment. It's once again never a 1 cost red Saiyan, so to go with the help with the bond. And if your leader card is red, when you play this card from your hand, your opponent has 2 energy open or active mode, your opponent reveals their hand, and you can choose up to 1 battle card with 20k power or less and place in the drop area. So this is really fantastic for the fact that it gives you hand knowledge. So if your opponent's got 2 energy open to keep some defensive plays, like for a rival, topo, things like negates and stuff, you can play this. Now you get to have a look at the hand. You get to see if you can go in and try and kill them that turn, put some pressure in, or if you need to be defensive. It helps you have that knowledge to decide how you're going to go with your turn, and also know more about what your opponent's got for their next turn. And then add to that for extra Saiyans that you can play for cheap is 2 SS3 Son Goku 1-hit wonder. Now this is really handy because even though it's a free cost 15k, you don't pay the energy for it because of its auto, where when your opponent's battle card's power is decreased, if you don't have a copy of this card in play, you can play this card from your hand. And this is really easy to trigger because you have the Whis from your drop, which just warp it from your drop, minus up by 5k, and you can play this for free. and you even got Chain Attack Bardock. Like sometimes what I've done is before is played Chain Attack Borgos, then play Chain Attack Bardock, swung with the Bardock, minus link by 8k, because I've got 2 of these, and it doesn't play this, so then this then instantly permanent becomes live, and it's now 15k crit when swinging. So most people like see it as me just trying to swing to remove something, but then it comes down that it's now 15k crit. And it also has an Elevate Battle as well, where for 1 red energy, you can send this card from your drop area to warp, and choose one of your opponent's battle cards minus 5k. So if you've got 1 in board, and you want to try and get the other one out and you don't have a weave, you can still do it that way as well, and it gives you extra power reduction. But that is the Saiyan package for the deck, for a little weenie rush. Then we get on to the other tech choices, where we got 2 Topper, because Topper's a fantastic game, helping you survive later a game against other aggressive decks. And yeah, it's basically, if you don't know what it does, it's a counter attack where you choose whenever card in your hand, discard it, then negate the attack and play this card. And what it does say a 4 cost and being 20k, it's permanent. It says if it's during your opponent's turn, you reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 2. So you only need to pay 2 energy in your opponent's turn, and one of them needs to be red. There's only 1 red specified cost. And the reason why this is a great negate is there's also where if it's your opponent's turn, when you play this card for the duration of your opponent's turn, they can't attack unless they choose 2 cards from the hand and place them in a dropper each time. And then 2 other cards. Another card we got is SSB Kai Ken Son Goku Concentrated Destruction. So this is our way to get through barrier cards, because of its effect. It's a free cost 15k. It's deflect as well. It also is a way to help board wipe if your opponent goes wide, because there's also of when you play this card from your hand, you choose all your opponent's battle cards with 20k power or less and KO them. And its activate main is what we use to get through a barrier. So for 2 red, if your leader card is red and you place this card from your hand in your drop area, you choose one of your opponent's battle cards, ignore a barrier, minus about 25k power per turn. So this is really handy against things like Yellow Slug, that's in yellow, and the SS4, those Son Goku Absolute Annihilation. Basically anything with barrier that's 25k or less, you can use this to pay for 2, just get through it and get rid of it, because you've got nothing else that goes through barrier. So you want to try and take these. If you're opponent against things like Invoker, where they're playing the free drop Vegeta, or even yellow when they've got the Lord Slug, you want to keep all of these so you can get through them. And then we have 1 copy of the East Hidden Power East Supreme Kai. I've chosen this over Champa just because I don't have Champa in foil. I have this in foil, and sometimes it does come up where sometimes you don't want to give double strike. So that option is, but you might want to use Champa instead, because there are people who will rule shark you if you forget to declare double strike, because there are people like that. And then the secret rare choice I went with for Fight Night was Frieza Army Reborn. The reason for that was because I don't have the Panzeno secret rare yet, which I would prefer to use instead, because it's a great negate. It's almost like a bit like Topper, like really handy negate to use, or counter attack. Sorry, because it doesn't really negate the attack, which can also be played aggressively or defensively, however I want. But I didn't have that one, and I didn't want to switch out the Kai secret rare for one of my other decks. When switching over, I wanted to have a different secret rare for each deck, so it felt more fair that I'm not running the same cards in all the deck. I went with one of each color, or different color, so there was no overlapping cards really, in a sense. And this one was quite handy because I can easily get myself down to 2 if I get aggroed, or if I've still got some Weeses and stuff in my drop, or if I've been using Capital Self-Awaken. There's a way for me to get it down to 2 so I can trigger this permanent. But this is one from the last theme box we got, which is an 8 cost, 40k, quadruple strike, so that means it could do 4, if it connects and does damage, it does 4 damage instead of 1. And its permanent is if your life is at 2 or less, you reduce the energy cost of this card in your hand by 3, so it can become a 5 cost. And it's also very strong, where when you play the card, your opponent reveals the hand, you take a card from it and place it in their drop area, and then you choose all the opponent's battle cards with 40k or less power, and ignore and barrier and KO them. So against some things where they built a board of like tokens or things with barrier, this was would have been a great finisher for that. And then the last battle card we have is 1 SS4 Bardock, Fun Against Fate, because we wanted to. You can still use overall in this, like, because you can use the stuff in your drop before, you can fill it up quite easily. And this is the most aggressive rune. Like, we don't need, like, the other runes of choice, or the best ones really, are Secret Identity and this. But with Secret Identity, we don't need it for board clear because our deck has enough of that with all the minusing and stuff and things. So having this to give 225k swings for extra added aggro pressure was a better choice. That's it for the last battle cards. And then for the 2 extra cards I use, other extra cards, then other than Cab's Awakening, I used were 2 Testing Opposition, just because I was going to go with Frieza's Death Ball, but I thought that requires energy and also doesn't go through barriers, so it's not as helpful. So I want to wait for something to help me survive if I needed it to, which is Testing Opposition, because unlike the old set 5 Spark Negates, this helps a lot more because it negates it can be played without having sparking. So if I don't have enough in my drop, I can still use it, and most of the time if people want to try and get you to 5 and then take it from 5 to 3 instead, and this is handy just to negate the attack and get a token blocker as well. And luckily for this colour, for red, the token also has combo power, so if you don't use it to block in the same turn, you can at least use it to attack and have a free 5k combo as well. And so yeah, so as I said, this card basically just, if your leader's mono red, you get your attack and play 1 Cyberman token that has blocker for the turn. And you can use this for free because of its permanent, where if your life's at 5 or less, so when people come to that situation where they're trying to take it from 5 to 3, you can activate this card's character skill from your hand by adding 1 card from your life to your hand instead of paying its energy cost. So this is just really handy to have to help yourself, and also by going from 5 to using this when you're at 5 helps you go to 4, so you can awaken whenever you want in the next turn. But most of the time when you awaken with this deck, you want to go for awakening on your turn. But that is it for the last few cards. So with the turn progression, normally you want to try and mulligan to have either a Whis or Bardock in your hand, because you want to try and make sure you got one of these in your hand at least. You can first turn use these to discard with the leader to draw 2. If you have a cantrip like a Borgos, so if you have a Borgos, I can't find the Borgos now. Yeah. So ideally, if you've got Whis, you either want Whis and Borgos or Bardock that you eliminate, just Bardock will eliminate on his own, and a red card to charge. Because with this, you discard Whis first, draw 2 cards, then use your energy to play Borgos to draw another card, so you've drawn 3 cards that turn. Or if you've just got Bardock, and a red card, you just charge a red card, use your leader to discard this to draw 2, and then use its effect to pay 1, root from your top area to warp, and draw 1. And then for turn 2, you either, depending on what you have, you either want to give your Unison to basically draw 1 to add to that, or you want to try applying some pressure with your little 1-drops. And then from turn 3 onwards, you just want to try and apply pressure or just keep it up. And generally you want to use your Beerus arrival on your opponent's turn, because it requires your opponent's battle cards to be in rest to target them and minus them 5k. And generally if your opponent's swinging on something big, you can reduce them by quite a bit by using the super combo to minus them by 10k, and then the Beerus to minus them by another 10k. And also the good thing of the Beerus is it draws 1 when you play it as well. So even if you don't minus something down, it's replacing itself. You're playing a 20k attacker and replacing itself by drawing a card, which is really handy. A lot of the cards in here replace itself by draw, so it's got a great amount of draw power, which is why I think it's a pretty good option if you just don't like hand control and go against a lot of your locals or in tournaments. And yeah, so generally that's what you want to do for it, and then you have a lot of things for utility, and ideally what you're trying to look for is to find these 2 cards basically. So if you have a Cab's Awakening, you can always charge it if you want to. You want to try and see, if you have 1, you may want to try and hold on to it, but you can always charge it if you want, because you play 4, and you're looking to try and find this with your draw power, because this is what you want to have by the time you awaken. So you can, it's almost like a secret rare, being the fact that it's limited 1. So you can drop it, do offering, and pressure your opponent down with this triple strike. And you can either do that by either having a rivaling in the Beerus to go with it, either having these two, or if you've got Unison play, replaying this. Because the good thing about using this Piccolo is that you can pay 2, play Unison, swing with that 15k, use the effect +1, draw a card, then play this for free, swing with it, then or even just play Unison, draw 2, play Unison, gain a marker by is +1, play this, swing with it, get that pressure in, then swing into Unison, use Cab's Awakening to give this 6k to make it 26k, then awaken and trigger this on that. And even to put some pressure over attacks, if you've got, say, 2 Beerus on board, so if I find their board. So if you've got 2 Beerus on board, and you've got and you do this, and you do and you have Beerus on board, and you attack with Beerus, attack with that. You can attack with this Beerus. Your opponent think, yeah, it's fine. You can swing with a 4k. It's nothing. You can then use the Cab's Awakening to increase the Beerus, and then awaken, trigger this, and now you've got 3 red Saiyans in your board. So this is now 15k on that swing, and you can get rank 15k or add to it. It's really handy. But that's it for the deck. Next up should be the second deck I played, and once they put the videos of it, I'm going to probably record the games, or cover the games with my commentary, to go through my thought process in the games to help you if you're watching it and want to understand more about how the deck plays or seeing in action. That was it. That is my Red Beerus that I took for Fight Night. Thank you for watching. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps me out. Let me know that you're enjoying these videos, and subscribing helps me get to my goal of 1,000 subs, which are a quarter of the way there. And also by clicking the bell if you are subscribed, and keep notified of when my videos drop when they do. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video, which should be tomorrow. Bye for now.